Dear family, the subject matter that I want to attempt to talk about is going to probably take place in 3 or 4 parts. This is not about numbers or likes or being popular on social media. This is about a subject that has to be shared. This is from a brother that is looking at things from an evolutionary standpoint. That's not just having tunnel vision, but looking at where we are as brothers in society and as young men, where we're going, where our legacy is going, where our success or lack thereof is. So I want to talk about how we evolve and what's happening in 2021, where we're going. Now, a lot of sisters think that this is not relevant to you. Oh, this subject is so relevant because when you move throughout society, you're looking for your male counterpart. You're looking over at, you're choosing to see what the men are doing and if there's one for you or the one that you have, what is his future and what will happen to him? Or as a mother, you're looking at what will take place with your sons. If you ask any sister, I'm not talking about the lover in their life or their father or their baby's daddy. If you ask them about their son, do you want to raise a king? They're going to tell you, oh yeah, I want my son to be a king. I want my son to turn out right. I want him to be successful. Now, as the young man, when you talk to him, he may not know where he's going, but he knows he wants to be successful. For the brother that's fallen by the wayside and needs to get back up, you are looking at resilience and how do I get back up? So this is going to be a 3-part series from Boyz to Niggaz. Now, why do I use Niggaz? What is a nigga? Number one, nigga has become a popular expression. It has become a way that we relate to each other. What up, my nigga? Niggas, what's happening? But it also is an identity among us right now. And a lot of us, when we look at it, want to be niggas. Now, not everything about being a nigga is bad when you look at it, but it is a stage of development of the Black man in America that has become real familiar. And then I put to Kingz and then divine. So as a human being, you're not just physical. You evolve from a baby to a man, but there is also evolution of knowledge that goes with it. And based on the quality of your knowledge shows where you're going to go in life, how far you're going to go, what you're going to develop into. So I want to talk about how we develop and give you a choice. Now, if you want to go from a boy to a nigga, I'll tell you where you can go to get that knowledge. If you want to go from a boy to a king, we can develop that knowledge. But not only are you king, but there's another part of you that we have to look for. Now, let me talk about and dismiss something that people say. Oh, Black men don't take accountability. Wrong. We do. We're held more accountable than any other people in America. When a Black man steals something, he gets more time than his female counterpart, than his white counterpart, than his Asian counterpart. We pay more for our mistakes than anybody else in America. When we are trying to move ahead, there are also forces and circumstances that we have to be built differently to overcome. So when you look at statistics, you'll see because of the rigidity of our society and how we're being held back, that we're actually developing muscles that no other man in America has. So the good side about it is that if you survive as a Black man in America and get to where you're going, you're probably more powerful than anything else that exists in this country. bar none. There is nobody like us that has been through our journey. We're only 6% of the population, making up 85 and 70% of the state prisons and 65% of the federal prisons. Are we that bad, or is there a systemic issue that whenever we do something, we're held more than accountable and we pay more, and when we fall, it takes much more for us to rise? So the knowledge that we're given through these series that I've taken upon myself. Now, if I worked for somebody, I have to be honest, I couldn't speak like this. I have kept myself independent for 10 years. I am working on qualifications and licensure in the medical health field for a reason. Because I understand somebody has to understand our evolution and what we're up against, and then give the right wisdom, knowledge, and not forcing you, but giving you some options. If you want to be a nigga, fine. Be the best nigga you can be. But if you want governance, if you want to grow in a country where they don't give you second, third chances, then we got knowledge for that. So I'm going to take about 5 more minutes because this is a series. This ain't something we talk about in one day. Let's look at the state of Black boys. Now, I want to also dismiss people. Big up Sister Wendy Mavens, thank you. I like to show the comments. My sister Wendy, who is the sister of our dear beloved sister that I went to school with, Tandrea. No, Tandrea is her daughter, but she is also a sister of mine, of a dear sister that has gone from us. And so blessings to her, blessings to your family. Your sister's greatly missed. I met your sister when I was 13 years old. And when I went to speak in schools, she was the security officer. So big up and blessings to your family. Thank you also for entrusting me with the education of your daughters in high school. Let's move on. Now, when we look at culture, culture is set by the women in society that are the first teachers of the children. They're the first teachers. They're the mothers of civilization. So boys, like girls, at a young age, need the nurturing from mothers. Not they don't need their fathers, but primarily at a certain stage, boys begin looking for identity. And this is what I want to conclude, because I have boys out there. And again, Mukmud, I thank you, families, the 10 families that have entrusted me with your boys from September to June in our homeschool. It was never intended to be only boys, but when the parents saw the state of the boys in these elementary schools and they saw what I was trying to do, they entrust me. Thank you for your funding. Thank you for helping me pay the bills. Thank you for trusting me with your most precious commodity. All right? Grand Rising Sister Jody. So, boys, when I was in the school system, I got the most complaint from parents of middle school boys. It's even younger now. Why middle school? Why is it that mothers like, oh, he was a good boy, but now, ever since he got in the 6th or 7th grade, I don't know what to do with him? That's because hormonally, there are changes with a boy. And the change is that he begins to produce what's more called testosterone. Testosterone, study the studies on testosterone. It makes somebody more aggressive. Their skin begins to go from soft to harder. They begin to grow hair. Now, some people say, you know what, man? These men are so violent. Do you know there's nothing wrong with violence? It has its place. How do you think Black men freed themselves from slavery? They were violent against their slave masters. They led rebellion. Was it wrong to rebel against slavery and be violent? No. America expanded its territory by war and violence. Is it wrong to protect your sister and your mother, even if it means your life or somebody else? So violence has its place, and naturally, when you have testosterone being produced, you are more aggressive and violent. But here's the issue. When we do these Black men trauma forums, a lot of people say men are not in tune with their emotions. What I'm saying is that we do emote, but we emote much differently. Peace, Sister Sanette. Thank you for your comment. Blessings to you. We emote much differently. That's why, as men, I teach, you have to feel your emotions. You have to be aware of them, but you can't always make decisions based on them. Weak men make decisions based on their emotions. So a man finds a woman who cheats on him, passion of love. He kill her, he kill the man, he kill everybody. That's an emotional decision, not a rational one. So in going from boyhood to manhood, rational thinking, decision making, and guidance has to be a part of our development. And so it takes older men to teach younger men, because they have the parts and the hormones and the body and the functions to teach that. So there's no excuse that you making decisions based on how you feel. You may not feel like going to work, but you got a mouth to feed, a family to secure. So you have to overcome your feelings into rationality that you have to provide food, clothing, and a home. That has to be taught. Passions of crime, my brother. And this is why I want to talk about the Niggaz part. I'm going to close here because this can't be finished and I have children that I got to tend to. Nigga is an underdeveloped. I'm not talking about Niggaz, because a lot of brothers have flipped it. There's kings in Africa that they call Niggaz. And some of the enlightened brothers, when they say Niggaz, they use that to teach the provincial relationship of brothers to their community as they sit and make decisions for the benefit of their community. That's Niggaz. That's different from niggers. Now, when you make a decision, it can't be in your emotional state. What I'm realizing, and I'm gonna close, are young men that are highly emotional and volatile. They're gonna kill. Yo, nigga, you stepped on my shoe. Nigga, you know what, nigga, you in my territory. When you are an evolved person, you get upset. But then rationality and reason comes in and say, hold on, are you even worth me taking you off the planet? Am I even worth going to prison when I got my daughter, I got my son, I'm building my corporation and my business? No, nigga, you not even worth. You, nigga, not me, not even worth giving my energy and time and doing time when I'm trying to go from boy to divine to king. So king represents rulership, and the first rulership and governance that you should have, or domain or sovereignty, is over you. If you are master of self, then you can become master over much. So I'm going to end here. I gotta go, but this is serious. I don't know why there's an urgency for me to talk about this, but I'll be honest, I don't know how long I got. Tomorrow's not promised. And I just feel like I got to get this out into my community. I'm not asking no reverend preacher or teacher to stand by me or the things that I teach, because you don't even know sometimes what you should be teaching Black men. Peace, power, light.